What's up, guys? It's Eric, free NBA daily bets coming at you at 12:42 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm pretty tired, but I'm going to power through this because I don't have time to do this podcast tomorrow. So let's get after it. Well, first off, it was a winning day yesterday. So Lakers came through late, the Bucks came through, the under and the Bucks game came through, and I was really on a lot of the right sides of my lean. So I feel like I'm seeing it clearly, guys. I feel like a breakthrough's coming. I know I've been saying that a long time, but I really still feel a breakthrough coming. Let's hope it's today. All right, let's go. First game up, we have the Memphis Grizzlies at the Orlando Magic. Both of these teams played yesterday, and Memphis lost at Indiana, and Orlando won at Atlanta. So, and I said this yesterday on the podcast, guys. Memphis is vulnerable on the road. They're a juggernaut at home. There's no doubt about it. They are a juggernaut at home, but they still have two more road games left. Today at Orlando, and then at Cleveland on Sunday. So that's a big one. They've lost two in a row, three out of their last four. And I don't think a lot of people played a lot of minutes for Memphis because they're so deep. They trust their backups a lot. So Desmond Bane played 33 minutes. Nobody else played over 30 minutes. Ja Morant has been sitting out on the second night of these back-to-back, so I don't know if he's going to play in this one. He hasn't been making that big of an impact this year. In fact, he was minus 11 on plus-minus in the game. It's the worst of any starter of the Grizzlies yesterday at Indiana, and I don't know what's going on with him, guys. I don't know. He's just kind of an average, well, not average, but I mean he's just kind of like a good player this year. You know, that's just kind of what he is. I don't know what's going on with him. Orlando. I do remember their starters did play a lot more minutes. They need to win. Orlando needs to win. They were winning at the beginning of the season, and then they cooled off and they lost a lot. So now that everybody's healthy except for Jalen Suggs, Banchero 37 minutes, Franz Wagner 33 minutes, Cole Anthony 32, Wendell Carter Jr. 32 minutes. So it's tough, guys. So the line is -3 to the Grizzlies, and the total is at 222.5, 223 at some books. I think my best bet for this game, if I had to play it, is Memphis team total over. I just think, or just the game over. It's really hard to trust the Magic to go over, but I think them at home. I think they play really tough. I do. Magic have been really good at home. They just beat. Let's see. They won 2 out of the last 3 home games, 3 out of their last 4 home games. Since they've gotten everybody healthy again. You know, they play Washington on Sunday, not a huge look-ahead spot. I like Orlando +3. I like the over 222.5, guys. Let's keep it moving. Next game up, we have the Milwaukee Bucks at the Washington Wizards. Line is -7 till Milwaukee, 7.5. And the Wizards, the over-under's at 229.5 before I get to the injury reports. So this is the thing, guys. Giannis is hurt, legitimately battling an injury, and he only played, 24 minutes yesterday? I doubt he plays today against Washington. It's definitely a game where he's rested before this season. And Milwaukee was able to win and cover the spread against Washington like back in December, I believe it was. Something like that. Yeah, December 21st. They won 112-101 without Lillard and Giannis, I believe. Now, they lost Bobby Portis for the rest of the regular season because he took Tramadol. Which is kind of crazy because I had surgery like 6 months ago, and I took Tramadol, and it's like, I mean, why is that illegal? You know, I don't. I mean, like a banned substance in the NBA. Like, I mean, I don't know. Anyways, so yeah, they're off the win. Let's see how many minutes everybody played. Like I said, Giannis only played 24 minutes. And Kyle Kuzma played 37 minutes, Taurean Prince 31 minutes, Brook Lopez 31 minutes, Damian Lillard 33 minutes. So they said Lillard was on a minutes restriction too. I think Lillard's more healthy than Giannis. I mean, obviously the minutes proved that last night. But this is tough, guys, because one, this is the Kyle Kuzma, Chris Middleton game. So Kyle Kuzma wanted out of Washington. He got his wish and was traded out. And Chris Middleton, the guy who was super clutch in the NBA Finals for the Milwaukee Bucks in 2021, got traded. And I mean, in my opinion, is Kuzma that much better than Middleton? I don't know, guys. So, I mean, obviously Chris Middleton is going to be pumped up for this game. Marcus Smart is actually cleared to play. He got traded from Memphis to the Wizards, so they have some good veteran presence with Middleton and Marcus Smart. Jordan Poole's available. Alex Sarr's available. Keyshawn George, Bilal Coulibaly, Corey Kispert, Richaun Holmes. It's Bub Carrington still there. It's not an awful group for the Wizards. Honestly, they're good at staying in the game. They just don't close games out well. And so if you have Marcus Smart out there, you have Chris Middleton out there to kind of calm down Jordan Poole from being a dumbass, good things can happen in terms of covering a plus 7.5 point spread like this. I lean Washington plus 7.5. They've played some good basketball at home. They just haven't closed well. They were close against San Antonio. San Antonio pulled out late. They took Indiana to overtime, lost by 4. They took Cleveland. It was a tie game in the fourth quarter back in 4 games ago. So they played tough, guys. The Wizards played tough. I lean plus 7.5. Over under, I lean under 229.5. I don't feel great about that though. But that's the way I'm looking for that game, guys. Let's keep it moving. We got 7 games left. Next game up, we got the New York Knicks at the Cleveland Cavaliers. And the spread is minus 7.5, minus 8.5. It's up to minus 8.5, Cleveland. And I don't know if I agree with this, guys. I mean, now don't get me wrong. It is tough to fade the Cavaliers. They were minus 12.5 point favorites at the close today. They won by 13. 13 was the opening number. So push at worst, honestly, if you took Cleveland against the Nets yesterday. Nobody played heavy minutes because they're so deep. I mean, no one played over 30 minutes. Donovan Mitchell 30, Evan Mobley 30. So I would be surprised if they don't play everybody. I mean, plane ride from New York to Cleveland is not long at all. It's not a bad travel spot. Everybody should be good to go for the Cleveland Cavaliers. Okay, so let's go to New York. New York also played yesterday. They won in overtime against the Bulls. I had the Bulls plus 12.5. So that was a right side cover for me last night. That felt good. I was right on that game, guys. Chicago just had a bad shooting slump the previous 4 games, guys. That's really what it was. They're going to cover some point spreads for us. I'm pretty confident in that. But let's check the minutes. They were already down without Josh Hart yesterday. They were down OG Anunoby. I don't know if they play Josh Hart. It's weird. So Josh Hart was always on the injury report as questionable with his knee. And he always played. He never missed a game. And now he had the long rest of the All-Star break. And then he doesn't play. So I don't know what's up with that. Maybe he's legitimately hurt. He may not play in this game. Or maybe they're thinking hey, excuse me. Let's save Josh against the Bulls and rest him and get him ready to go against Cleveland. So who knows? I kind of think he's going to play. I think that it was kind of a scheduled rest spot for him. Just get another day of rest for him on the front end of a back-to-back against a vulnerable Chicago Bulls team that can be beaten. We'll see. We'll find out. Precious Achiuwa, 46 minutes. Mikal Bridges, 44 minutes. Brunson, 38 minutes. Karl Anthony Towns, 43 minutes. Miles McBride, 42 minutes. Karl Anthony Towns hasn't been playing on the back-to-backs every time, so maybe he doesn't play. I don't know. This is that overtime kind of threw this in a little wrench into this equation because I want to bet New York here. I really do, and like trust me, guys. Like I've lost too much money this year fading the Cavaliers, but I don't know. Cleveland at home, guys. It's hard to go against them. I'm probably gonna stay off this game. That plus 8.5 is tempting. It really is tempting, especially if Josh Hart plays and if OG Anunoby somehow plays. I don't think OG Anunoby's gonna play, but we'll see. But I definitely lean Knicks plus 8.5. But it's, man, go at your own risk, guys. Go at your own risk. Fading the Cavaliers has been a very bad proposition this year. You're just losing money. Okay, like they're the best ATS team against the spread team in the NBA this year, like 65%. Like it's just silly. It can't be sustained. I can assure you guys that they will regress slightly by the end of the year. They're not going to end the year at 65%. The books will price them like at ridiculous numbers moving forward. And in my opinion, this is kind of a ridiculous number. Over under is 240.5. I lean over. I don't feel great about it, but I lean over. I'm not going to bet it. Next game up, we have the Miami Heat at the Toronto Raptors, and I need to bet this game before I go to bed. The line's moving just a touch. It was -3 at the open. Now it's at -3.5 at most books to Miami Heat. I do like the Miami Heat side. Over-unders at 221.5. So Tyler Hero is probable. Andrew Wiggins has played a couple games with them now. Davion Mitchell got traded from Toronto, so he'll be motivated for this game. They still have Terry Rozier on the bench, Jaime Jaquez Jr. on the bench, Jovic on the bench. Like, if you look at the Miami Heat, their team's not that bad. Like, they need to start turning the corner here, guys. And I think they do. Andrew Wiggins is also from Canada, if you guys remember that. So a little bit of that going on as well. Homecoming for him again. I think he already played there this year with the Warriors, but yeah, he did. I'm pretty positive about that. But you got Bam Adebayo, you got Khalil Ware, Duncan Robinson's a good three-point shooter. Like, you got Alex Burks. He's been playing some good minutes. Like, this Heat team, come on, guys, pick it up, Miami. I want to bet you. You guys are like a good bet on team, in my opinion. They've lost. Another reason why I'm betting them. I haven't bet them yet. I'm going to release them very shortly after this podcast. They've lost 4 games in a row. They have no back-to-back, so they play Sunday at Milwaukee. Toronto will be without Jakob Poeltl, so they have a very good size advantage. The Miami Heat do, so they can get rebounds. They can play good defense. You know what? I kind of like. I don't love the under. I lean the under at 221.5 for sure. Both these teams like to play defense. So for the Raptors, everybody else is healthy. Emmanuel Quickley, Grady Dick, R.J. Barrett, Scotty Barnes, but no Jakob Poeltl, and that's big, guys. That's big. Like he's such a key piece to that team. But they trade away a lot of their bench guys. They traded away Bruce Brown. They traded away Davion Mitchell, like I said. I think there were a couple other guys that they moved as well. Like their bench isn't that good anymore, or isn't that deep anymore. You got Jamal Sheed, Jacoby Walter, Ochai Agbaji, Jonathan Mogbo is going to start. Orlando Robinson backs up him. Chris Boucher. Like, it's not pretty, guys. It's not a great. Like, Miami definitely has way better depth than Toronto does. It's just Toronto's at home. Home teams in the NBA, even the teams with losing records like Toronto, will play their asses off, and Toronto does play their ass off at home. They got a good win 2 days before the All-Star break. No back-to-back for them. This is the resuming of the 4-game homestand. So second game of 4-game homestand. They play Phoenix on Sunday. I like Miami here, guys. I think they pull it off. I think they get the win here. And again, teams that win in the NBA, they cover the point spread, even the favorites. Let's take a look at today's games, guys. Indiana won as a dog, so they covered, obviously. They won, they covered. Boston won as a 7-point favorite, 124-104. Orlando won as a favorite, small favorite, obviously. Cleveland won and covered as a favorite. New York did not. Milwaukee won. They were an underdog, slight underdog. Denver did not. Covers a favorite, but those are big numbers, guys. San Antonio won outright as an underdog. The Lakers won. It lined open 3.5. They covered. So only 2 favorites. One did not cover today, guys. I mean yesterday. So I mean that's the NBA. If they win, they're most likely going to cover. Especially small numbers like these. So I like Heat -3. I'm going to bet that, guys. I lean under 221.5. Let's keep it moving. Next game up, we have the Detroit Pistons at the San Antonio Spurs. And San Antonio played really well last night against Phoenix. I don't know why I keep betting that damn Phoenix teams. They freaking suck, guys. They just really freaking suck. Like, there's no effort. Keldon Johnson got like a rebound in the fourth quarter, and there were like 4 Phoenix Suns guys just standing around him, not boxing him out, not reaching for the rebound. Like, it's just, they're a mess, guys. The Phoenix Suns are a mess. But still, so they played in Austin, Texas last night. I don't know if this game is in Austin, Texas against the Pistons. Let me see here. How can I find that out? I'm gonna have to do some research on that, guys. Let me see. Let me click on the 8:30 p.m. Eastern thing here, and let me see if it tells me the location of where it's at. I think it is, guys. I think this game is in Austin, Texas. It's at the Moody Center. Let's see if the Moody Center really quickly here is the... yeah, it's Austin. Yeah, they're playing in Austin, Texas again, guys. Okay, so cool. So they're playing in Austin, Texas again against Detroit. Let's see the minutes logged last night against the Suns. 33 for Devin Vassell, 37 for De'Aaron Fox, Chris Paul 32, Harrison Barnes 27. So nothing serious. You know, they had the All-Star break. You know, they should be rested, ready to go again. De'Aaron Fox, 37 minutes. We'll see if he plays. I think he does. They shot 36% from 3, so like no huge outlier performance there. They just played well, guys. Only 9 turnovers. Like, I mean, this is the thing too, guys. Like, with the Spurs, with Chris Paul and De'Aaron Fox, like 2 really good ball handlers, they're not going to turn the ball over a lot. Like, this team's not going to turn the ball over a lot. As long as those 2 guys are playing, that's going to be key, and that'll keep them in a lot of games, guys. Teams that don't turn over the ball, they prevent easy points for the other team. So, you know, obviously Wembanyama, if you didn't know, he had DVT, which is short for deep vein thrombosis. And basically he had like a blood clot in his shoulder, which is like really, really scary stuff. So he's out for the rest of the year. So they went small last night. But again, I mean, Phoenix just didn't give an F, guys. I mean, honestly, they did kind of, but they just don't have any heart, guys. They don't. Like, they had the tall guys to out-rebound the Spurs last night. And let's see if they out rebounded on 44. No, that's what I'm saying. Like, Spurs out rebounded them, and they've got Bol who's like 7'5", Durant who's like close to 7 feet, Nick Richards, like, it's just Mason Plumlee. Like, it's an embarrassment, guys, for the Phoenix Suns. But anyways, Spurs, I like, man, they played really freaking hard last night, guys. They did. It was impressive. Now Detroit, this will be their first game post All-Star break. Everybody's healthy. No back-to-back for them. They play Sunday at Atlanta. You know, I say all this because I really want to bet the Spurs. The line's plus 4.5 to San Antonio. Over-under is at 232.5. And... I think the Spurs win this game. I know it's the second night of a back-to-back, but you know, they have aspirations. You know, you just don't trade for De'Aaron Fox and like give up on the season. Like, they traded for De'Aaron Fox to try to make the play-in tournament, and they have to keep winning. Detroit, I mean, and this is the other thing with Detroit. Even though they're fully healthy, even though they're the better team on paper, matchup wise too. I don't trust them in this spot, is what I'm saying. They took care of a really poorly shooting team in the Chicago Bulls, the 2 games before the All-Star break. I give them a little credit there for taking care of business, but again, Chicago's nothing to hang your hat on. They beat Charlotte and Philadelphia before that, like nothing to hang your hat on there. I mean, Philadelphia was a very good win. I'll give them credit there because obviously, Cade Cunningham was out and Joel Embiid and Tyrese Maxey played, and good win. I'll give you that. But that was at home. Their road games before that, they lost at Indiana really badly. They lost to Cleveland really badly. They lost to Orlando by 8. 2 road games before that, they beat Atlanta and Houston, so that's pretty good. They beat the Knicks, but the Knicks were on a second night of a back-to-back, I believe. San Antonio is here too. All I'm saying is this, guys. If I had to bet the game, I'm probably not going to bet the game. I like San Antonio. I like San Antonio plus 4.5. I think that's way too many points. I think San Antonio should be like. I think it should be close to a pick 'em, honestly. Over under wise, I do lean over. I lean over. I don't feel great about it, but I lean over. Okay, next game up. We got the New Orleans Pelicans at the Dallas Mavericks. The line is -5.5 to the home team, Dallas. The total is 236.5, 236, somewhere around there. And this is the thing, guys. And I hate to just cancel teams in certain situations, but I will not be betting the New Orleans Pelicans on the road the rest of the year. Let's see, they've got 15, 13 road games left, something like that. I'm not looking to bet them, guys. I can't do it. I don't care how healthy they are. I don't care what kind of form they're in, unless the number is just completely outrageous, plus 17 or something like that. I can't do it because they are just so god awful on the road, guys. So awful. On paper they look pretty competitive though. Jose Alvarado, CJ McCollum, Trey Murphy III, Zion Williamson. Missy's going to be out for this game, the rookie center, but Kelly Olynyk's good to go. Bruce Brown's a backup point guard. Jordan Hawkins, backup shooting guard. Their guard situation's not awful. You can even say it's somewhat decent. Zion's still there. Trey Murphy III can shoot threes really well. I don't know, guys. I don't know. I mean, I say all this because I think, honestly, the right side is the Pelicans plus 5.5. And, Dallas doesn't have a big guy. They still don't have a big guy. Dwight Powell's doubtful. Anthony Davis is out. Derek Lively's out. And, another big's out. So, P.J. Washington's questionable. On the injury report, I didn't see Klay Thompson today, so I think he's fine. I don't think ESPN updated their injury report, so I think he's good to go too. So you got Kyrie Irving, you got Max Christie, Klay Thompson, Najee Marshall, maybe PJ Washington, and then on the bench you got Dante Exum, Spencer Dinwiddie, Kessler Edwards, Olivier Maxence Prosper, Jaden Hardy on the bench as well. They did sign Moses Brown, so they did add some of a big guy. I don't know. If I had to play for this game, it would be over. It would be a Mavericks team total over. I'm not going to get there with it, though, guys. I'm just not going to do that. If I had to play the game, it would be Dallas team total over. And just throw everything else out the window. Okay, next game up. We have the Minnesota Timberwolves at the Houston Rockets. And I like the Rockets here, guys. I like them. I want to bet them. I think I'm going to bet them. The line's moving in that direction already. I think it's a little too high, though. I think the -4 is a little too high. There's some -3.5s out there, but it's moving. It's another game I'm probably going to need to bet before I go to bed tonight. And the reason is simple, guys. I do wish that Fred VanVleet was going to play. I will say that. Fred VanVleet brings a purpose, brings a direction, brings a calming presence to a young Houston Rockets team. You know, Amen Thompson running the point, Jalen Green running the point. It's not as smooth. It's not as smooth. Fred keeps everything under control. He won the freaking NBA championship, the Larry O'Brien Trophy. You know what I'm saying with Toronto. Like, the guy knows how to keep everything in front of him. But they get Jabari Smith Jr. back, I believe, or am I not seeing that correctly? I think. Sorry, guys. I need to look into that. I think Jabari Smith is back. Let me check the injury situation here. No, maybe he's not. Maybe I saw something different. Sorry, I need to look into that because I think he's back. But anyways, they still have Sengun, Amen Thompson, Jalen Green, Dylan Brooks, Cam Whitmore was playing pretty well, Jae'Sean Tate, Steven Adams, Tari Eason. Okay, maybe I don't love Houston as much. But for Minnesota, their big three is questionable. Mike Conley's questionable. Anthony Edwards is questionable, and he didn't play in the All-Star game. Rudy Gobert is questionable. But their backups have been playing well. Rob Dillingham's been playing well. Terrence Shannon Jr. had a nice game right before the All-Star break. Jalen Clark's had some okay games. They still have Naz Reid. I don't... That's a tough game, guys. I think all three of those guys play. Rudy Gobert, Anthony Edwards, and Mike Conley. We'll see. If all of them play, that line should come down to -3. And I still like Houston here, guys. Sorry, excuse me. And I say that because Houston has lost twice to this team already. And just because they lose twice doesn't mean that they're going to win here. But they're going to be motivated. They're going to be motivated to play for sure. And I just think they're the hungrier team. They're at home. I think they get a win here, guys. It is the front end of a back-to-back. They play at Utah on Saturday. They're not worried about Utah. This is a big game for them, Minnesota. Minnesota, they play at home Sunday against OKC. So no huge, maybe a look ahead, but they don't play until Sunday. So I lean Houston -3, guys. And I do like the under 216. I don't love it. Probably not going to bet it. That's the way I'm looking at that game. Okay, 2 games left, guys, and then I'm out of here and I'm going to bed. Oklahoma City Thunder at the Utah Jazz. We'll keep this one quick. -15 for the road favorite and the Thunder. Utah. Let's see their health real quick. So... Gosh, ESPN does a really bad job of updating their injury report. So I think Walker Kessler's good to go. Colin Sexton is still out. We'll have to take a look. We'll have to take a look at Jordan Clarkson, see if he plays. He may play. John Collins, Lauri Markkanen, Isaiah Collier, Keontae George, Kyle Filipowski, Walker Kessler, Bryce Sensabaugh. It's an okay squad, guys. It's an okay squad, and they play really, really hard at home, guys. They really do. So any way I could look for this game would be Utah +15, the home team. I think it's just a little bit too many points. OKC has had their way with Utah this year, but they only beat them by 9 the last game, and that was at Oklahoma City. But Oklahoma City had to play Memphis the next day. Utah did. I think Oklahoma City played somebody the next day too, though. But anyways, I lean that way. So Utah hosts Houston the next day, and then Oklahoma City plays at Minnesota is what I said earlier. At Minnesota on Sunday. They're fully healthy, guys. I'm pretty sure. I think Cason Wallace and Alex Caruso are good to go. Chet Holmgren's back. Like, they're healthy, man. I'm staying off that game. I kind of do like the over. The over is 236.5. I think that's the right side to look at it. A lot of games have been going under, though. So, kind of take that for what it is. There are only 2 games that have gone over out of 11 games so far post All-Star break. So I don't know, maybe a little bit of rust. Who knows? Yeah, I like over 236, and I like Jazz plus 15. All right, last game up, guys. We got the Warriors at the Sacramento Kings. I already bet this. This is a 5-unit max bet. I'm on the Golden State Warriors money line. There was some quotes coming out that like they're not playing for the play-in. They're playing to make the 6th seed. And if we take a look at the standings, guys, the Warriors have a lot of room to make up for that 3rd spot. For the 6th seed. They're 3 games back of the Clippers. It's not impossible with like 27 games left. Not at all. They can definitely get there. But they're 5.5 back of the Lakers. And the thing is, guys, they don't have the tiebreakers with any of these teams. They are 1-9. 1-10. Sorry, 1-10 in the division. It is literally the worst. Almost the worst. The only team that's worse in the division in the NBA is the Charlotte Hornets at 0-10. They have not won a divisional game yet. So, literally, Golden State, if they just played better against their division, they would be in the 6th seed right now, most likely. So, I just don't see that trend continuing, guys. They're going to start beating their division. They know their division. They beat up on their division for years now. Like, they know these teams inside and out. So with that said, depth chart, everyone's healthy for Golden State except for Kuminga. Kuminga's still out, but he's been cleared to practice, so he may start playing maybe within the next 2 weeks. We'll see. But Jimmy Butler's still there, Moses Moody, Brandon Pozinski. The bench is playing fairly well too. They have new energy, a new spark with Jimmy Butler. They no front end back to back here. They play at home Sunday, and that's Andre Iguodala's. Gosh, I forgot. Are they retiring his jersey? They might be. They might be doing that. I know they're giving him something. I forget what it is. I think they're retiring his jersey, guys. Well, I have to look into that. Anyways, it's a special day for Sunday, but they have to take care of business here, guys. They have a very easy schedule moving forward. Big time opportunity for them. Get things started off on the right foot here. They've had a little bit longer All-Star break than everybody else has. Let's go, guys. It's very short travel to Sacramento. They play them like 8 times a year, including the preseason. So, Sacramento, everyone's healthy for them. They're talented as well, though. They got Malik Monk, Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, Keegan Murray, Domantas Sabonis. The bench isn't as good, in my opinion, but they're a solid team, guys. They're a solid team, and they've been competing really well with the Warriors recently. They beat them 2 times already this year. So, yeah, they're 2-0 against them. So, bottom line, I think the Warriors find a way to win this game, guys. And over-under is 234. There's been some over money coming in, and I agree with that. I think it goes that way. You're going to need the Kings to do their part for it to go that way. And I don't know. I lean over. I don't feel great about that. I do love the Warriors to win. It's a 5-unit max bet play, guys. Okay, I'm going to go to bed. I appreciate y'all. Please, drop a like. Drop a comment, subscribe to the YouTube channel, follow me at Twitter for all my official plays at Easy Money Wins. Love y'all. I'll see you on the next episode.